trying to get him going. Right, they've cleared him off the grid. Yeah, you're right, we do have like a minute and a half or something before we need to worry.
Meanwhile, Lucas King is round the gooseneck and trying his best to gap people, but he's going a little bit round Chris Curve, etc., between him and second place.
Okay, this could provide an interesting shadow on the race, because obviously what's going to happen here is that because of this delay, it means that the quicker ninjas are going to be catching these guys a little bit better.
Looks
That
like
bike,
yeah.
that bike that they had the problem with, the 176 machine of Oliver Boyd, has joined from the pit lane as well. And as you said, the ninjas are already coming across the top of the mountain and back into the Hall Bends. So they're going to be catching those MZs very quickly indeed. I'll let you tell me who's leading the MZs when they come past you there, mate.
I mean, like Alex Mann is at it again, and then Wales appears to have fixed whatever it was that was a problem with his bike. So he's not as close as he has been, but I'm sure he'll make his best efforts to sort that out.
Okay, over the line we go. Well, Lucas King. Brilliant stuff. The youngster on the NW Racing machine leads the way very comfortably indeed. And by comfortably, we're talking 2.5 seconds after a standing start there. Round Huskinson, Baker, Barrel, Bray, Solue, Garrett, Cowie, Gleeson, McCarthy, Brunson, Everts, Mann, Wilton, Wingate, Bainborough and Lees all come across the line there. Not a lot between any of them really. The leaders certainly scarping off at the front, and maybe there's a bit of a gap towards the back. But
Andrew Wales is closing down.
He's coming to the man, yep.
Yeah, he's kind of half the gap, and you'll see when they come out of the corner off the Mansfields. There you go. Look how close that is.
Yep, you're right there. Classic MZ slipstreaming battle between those two. Well, obviously these two have raced each other very closely for the last few years. They both swapped the championship around, and obviously they're very good friends on and off the track. And obviously the shared moment at Donington, I think, is going to go down in the history of annals of history of racing. I think for a long time, the big hug they gave each other after they both decided to lob it pretty much simultaneously down there at the Heineken Hoop, Donington. Here they come then over the line then. It's the familiar white helmet of Alexander Mann. South End, Alex leads Andy Wales over the line. And then there's the almost customary gap between themselves and the next of the first of their pursuers. This time it's Gordon Ryan ahead of Caleb Wright with Chris Kent, John Ashmead up next, then McCormack Lewis over the line as well. A little bit of chatter on the radio, not sure what's happening there, not sure if something's happened to someone. I can't see anything out of my window, but then I've only got very few window spaces to look out of. I don't know if you can see anything at all, mate. Number 164 is a chicane. Maybe that was a cut of the chicane or something, though. Not sure what happened there. Anyway, let's have a look. It's King from Round, Barrel, Huskinson, Bray, Baker, Solue. Baker loses a couple of places there. Maybe it was a 1-2-4 machine.
Sorry, I'm back with you now. The bike is playing around.
No worries. Garrett, Cowie, Gleeson, McCarthy, Everts, Mann, Brunson, Wingate, Bainborough, Wilton and Lees once again. And that gap that Lucas King has got, about 4.5 seconds, a very impressive gap between himself and Round and Barrel up next, and Huskinson, who's leading the way in the seniors, of course. And sure enough, Dan Bray has gone with him this time. But that's a little bit of a battle there in the class. There's no battle for the front of the juniors, because with a 44.054 on the first flying lap, Lucas King is absolutely disappearing in this race. But Dan Bray, Danny Huskinson behind, going at it hammer and tongs. All right, CMZs go. They're going to be back around to visit us very shortly indeed. And I'm imagining it's going to be the same 1-2. Andy Wales catch Alex Mann and indeed slipstream his way past him. So both champions, they both know how to win races, and I'll tell you what, it's looking good for Alex Mann here. The gap was 3/4 of a second last time. This time it's gone out to double that actually. It's 1.5. So yeah, that's a big old gap in their racing terms. Gordon Ryan in third place is 7 seconds behind, and a 1.5 seconds behind him is Chris Kemp with Caleb. John Ashmead passing Caleb Brott. No, that's Caleb. Yep, he does come across the line in fourth place in class ahead of McCormack and Lewis. There goes the leader, King, so he's going to be catching the MZs very quickly indeed. So it'll be a 5-lap race for the MZs, I feel.
Oh, there's an MZ on the grass here, number 96. He's managed to gather it all together and rejoin the grey bit.
That's what you want to do, keep it upright. 96, I think, might be the Renter MZ, because they're like the YPMs. No, 94 is their Renter. Sorry, Chris Kent, yeah, no, he's a regular runner, sorry. Yeah, because the MZs have a Renter racer available as well. So again, if you have a word with the Facebook page, I'm sure you'll be able to find the MZ.
Yeah, you just got to search for the MZ Experience if you want to find that, I believe.
Yeah, that's the one. Well remembered, mate. Yeah, the MZ Experience. Or I say we're going to have a word with Sue up there in the collecting area. She can put you in the right direction.
She knows it forward, backwards, and upside down.
Absolutely. And the other person I haven't given a mention to today, I've actually realised, is Henry Wood, Sue's husband, who's out there with the begging bowl for the Ben Fund. And I do know the Ben Fund does do a lot of work in the background to help fallen riders and other BMZ members with some help when it all goes very, very wrong indeed. And I do know a personal friend of both of us. I'm not going to mention names, but he was telling me he literally got to keep his house because of a donation from the Ben Fund after he injured himself.
That's actually important.
Yeah, exactly. So if you see Henry there with his begging bowl, please, if you've got any spare change, please chuck it in there. If you're feeling generous, he's got the card machine with him as well. But Henry does amazing work for the club in the background. I mean, a lot of people do. Again, like everybody else around here, Henry is a volunteer. Race control teams, they're all volunteers. They're all doing it because they love the sport. So please remember that. Okay, MZ's over the line once again. No changes whatsoever. The only change actually was between Bray and Huskinson on the last lap round, and that was a battle for the lead in the Kawasaki Seniors. Right, we're getting a big mix of traffic here as the MZs are getting decimated by the faster Kawasaki's there. And King is over the line ahead around the barrel. Bray, Baker and Huskinson is dropping down the order, mate. I think we've lost Danny somewhere. I think his pink mitts have disappeared into the scenery because, unfortunately, maybe it's a repeat of the mechanical problems he had earlier, of course. Maybe what he thought was fixed isn't quite so fixed because he has dropped down through the field, which leaves the way open for the second place now in the seniors to go back to Alexander Mann. So Northern Mann will be very happy with that. The Svan's getting ready to head off 2 points to go do some collecting.
Tell you something, just looking at Lucas King going through the gooseneck there. He may be out on his own and could take it easy, but it just doesn't look like he is. He's riding through there from paint to paint. It's really nice to see.
I know he's definitely pushing on. His last lap was a 45, best lap's a low 44, so yeah, it's pretty much unchallenged there, which is good to see the youngster pushing on very hard indeed. Behind him, William Round is something at all bends. Oh, somebody's lost a chain over there. I wonder if that's Huskinson, because he is the one dropping down the order that I can see here. William Round doing a very good job. He gets a personal best in the first sector that time round, as does Dan Bray actually. And again, Dan's pushing on even though he really doesn't need to, but he's probably trying to hang on to a solid place and maybe take the fight to the youngsters. Harry Barrell in third place, he just about makes it over the line there. He's still chasing after William Round. 0.3 of a second between them, and the last lap flag has just gone out. So watch that battle. It's going to come round to you, mate. The 99 machine, sorry, the 112 machine over the 90 machine, because that is a battle for overall placing between Bray and Barrel.
They're getting the back marker treatment.
Right, yeah.
So, not entirely sure who came out of that best.
Typically with the back markers, all I've seen over the years is the first person to get to the back marker generally gets the better run at the back marker. They'll dive the back marker and the other person thinks they'll go around the outside, but the back marker or suddenly moves out of the way.
The thing about it is, like you say, if you get there first and you can get in there before the back marker really knows you're there.
Yes.
And then what happens then is the person that's behind doesn't know what the back marker's going to do, so it creates that uncertainty, you know.
I think the other thing is, particularly at Cadwell, if you're catching the back markers, I appreciate slightly exceptional circumstances in this race because of the very delayed start for the MZs.
Yeah.
But typically, at Cadwell Park, if you're catching a back marker, it's got to be a pretty slow back marker, simply because the size of this place means you ain't going that fast at the end of the day. As we get ready to see the last lap flag go to the MZs, Alex Mann having a long look over his shoulder, and I'm afraid the only thing he can see behind him is a passed ninja. I'm not sure if he's passed or he's being passed by it, but either way, his main rival, Andy Wales, is 6 seconds down the road as Lucas King cruises over the line there, rolls right out of it, comes across the line, and picks up another 25 points, so he's got every reason to be extremely happy. as the backmarking MZ there of, it's the number 13. Number 13 in the MZs, I should remember that. It's Gordon Ryan, I thought so. He's come across the line. He's in third place, so he's been lapped. But the leaders in the MZs are still continuing their battle. So if you're quick enough, you wouldn't have been lapped in that particular race. As Bray finishes second overall. So Dan Bray, I don't know what went wrong in the first race, but he's clearly got the speed there because he finishes second overall, wins the senior race. Ahead of William Round, who takes second of the juniors. Harry Barrell, third of the juniors. And then fourth of the juniors, Leo Soliu, and he's ahead of Baker, Garrett, Gleeson, Cowie, Evans, McCarthy. Alex Mann takes second of the seniors, ahead of Brunston. And then it's more of the juniors with Bainborough, Lees, Wingate and Wilson. And then we just wait for the battling MZs to come across the line, and it should be Alexander Mann picking up, completing the full race distance, this full 6 laps. And both him and Andy Wales, I think, will be the only 2 of the MZs to manage the 6 laps, partly caused, of course, by that very long delayed start, and of course their sheer speed around this circuit. Here comes Alexander Mann, another look over his shoulder. He can't see his rival. What he can see is the checkered flag and another gold medal for his rather extensive collection. Well done, Alex. And of course, he is the current holder of one of our lovely trophies, the Algernon Guinness Trophy.
Oh, what a trophy.
That is a beauty, isn't it? No, that's, as you say, it's another one of our very special trophies. That weighs something like 25 kilos of solid silver.
Got to be fit to the picture.
You know what? I think there's a picture of Alex holding above his head. I think he's about to go through the stage with it, quite frankly. It is not exactly a lightweight thing, is it?
No, mate, no.